The fastest way to make a game is to make 2 games. I know that sounds backwards, but hear me out. Hey, I'm Payne Robinson, a high school English teacher, indie dev, and someone trying to pay off his student loans by finishing at least one of the games I've got rattling around in my head. And today, I've got a hot take. If you're stuck, if you're dragging, if you've hit a wall and run out of motivation on your latest game, the best thing you can do might be to start another one. Here's why. Part 1. The problem with making one game. Making games is hard, and it's even harder when you put everything you've got into one project. I've been working on a game called Grid Tweaker, which you can wishlist right now on Steam. It's real, it exists, and you should check it out. It's my most professional project yet, and it's almost finished. But I hit a wall, a real hard one. Meanwhile, I had this other game. I started it a couple years ago. It's called Execute. It's this weird Windows 95 game about accidentally wiping out the entire world. It's morbid, and I wasn't the greatest at development when I started it, so I shelved it. But recently, I started tinkering with it again, and it changed everything. Part 2. The value of side projects. See, when you're stuck on one game, starting another one seems like a bad idea. I struggled for the past month about pausing Grid Tweaker to go back to Execute. Was it irresponsible to pause development when I was so close to completion? Was it a bad idea to start another game development project when I hadn't posted a YouTube video in 2 months? Yeah, probably. But I was feeling hampered by the massive scale of Grid Tweaker and a lot of life changes I was going through. But Execute has been amazing. It let me experiment, it let me play, it let me test new systems without the weight of breaking something huge and fragile. See, in Grid Tweaker, changing just something small like the tooltip system might take days. Everything's interconnected, one change can spiral quickly into 10. But in Execute, I could redo the whole tooltip system in just a couple of hours, maybe less. This ability to experiment and polish faster than I could in Grid Tweaker is helping me recharge. I am more motivated to develop when I know I can have an idea, implement it in a day, and enjoy it and play test it instead of that process taking weeks. Additionally, I'm actually creating features that I can use and implement into Grid Tweaker. I feel twice as productive because I'm writing things that benefit 2 projects. I'm feeling free, I'm feeling rejuvenated, and I feel like I'm working faster than I was before, even though I'm working on 2 things. It's kind of a paradox. Part 3. The creative benefits. Here's what I've learned. A side project lets you fail fast and learn faster. It boosts your confidence because it reminds you how far you've come. It gives you momentum, which is crucial for creativity, and it lets you have fun again. All 4 of these are ingredients that you need to be creative and to be successfully creative. I read a book called Slow Productivity during this time, link in the description if you'd like to support me, and it talks about this idea of working in creative seasons. Sometimes you can't just grind. You need to shift. Let yourself follow your energy, your creative whims. You need to relax, breathe, and just be creative instead of grind. I know this sounds obvious, but what if you just allowed yourself to put down the project you're stuck on and work on something new that actually inspires you? A lot of times when you're stuck on the thing that you're working on, but there's something in the back of your head that you're like, man, I really wish I could work on that. I think a lot of people warn against this because it sounds like ADD, but I think that's kind of bullshit. Much of modern wisdom tells us that you should only focus on one big project at a time, lest you get overwhelmed with the scale of the project we take on. But slow productivity preaches that switching up projects can often make us work faster because it keeps our momentum up. Part 4. Why this works for me. After my life got turned upside down, relationship ending, moving, new roommates, new office, I couldn't force myself to work on Grid Tweaker or YouTube. I tried. It wasn't writer's block, it was burnout. But when I touched Execute again, I felt that spark, that, ooh, I can't wait to get out of bed in the morning and work on this feeling. And that's when I knew this is how I come back to Grid Tweaker stronger. I'm using Execute to test ideas, build systems, and practice data management in a much smaller, low-risk environment. I'm actually using Execute to test different types of save systems. Because there's so much less data to store and execute, it's easier to write different types of save systems, test them, and then redo them or rewrite them. In Grid Tweaker, it would be a freaking nightmare, and that's half of why I didn't want to work on that. So all of what I'm making in Execute is going to benefit Grid Tweaker down the line, which is exactly what I wanted in the first place. I'm just happy doing it instead of grinding and hurting myself. But before letting myself work on Execute, I spent a month not working on anything because I felt so burnt out and afraid. I had fear that if I let myself work on something else, Grid Tweaker would die and I would fail. This is not the case. My momentum is back because I'm working on a different game. Before following this creative whim, I could not for the life of me finish a video. I wrote half a dozen scripts and started recording 3 separate videos, but felt like I wasn't being truthful or that they were forced in some way. As soon as I opened myself up to the idea of following this whim, this Execute idea, all these ideas for videos came rushing back to me, and this video you're watching right now was born. So please don't be afraid to follow your whims and to come back to your big projects later. Just bookmark it. So, part 5, some final thoughts. Here's my advice. Don't beat yourself up for needing a break. Don't feel guilty if you bounce between projects, and don't underestimate the power of working on something small to recharge your big dream. Just make sure you don't fall into a pattern of never finishing anything. That's the trap. You've got to ship something sometimes. So if you've been stuck on a giant game for years, go finish a tiny one. Go finish something. My goal with Execute is to finish it and to keep it small. I'm not going to let the feature creep in, and I'm going to put it out when I say I'm going to put it out. So 2 months from now, you'll be able to play Execute, whether it's free or paid or just a demo. I'm going to put something out, and that's that. I've been Payne Robinson. If this video helped you out, cool. That's all I really want. If you want to support me, check out the links in the description. Wishlist Grid Tweaker on Steam. Play Execute when it's ready. Maybe there's a link down there already. Probably not. That would be crazy. Buy that book that I mentioned. That affiliate link will help me out. Join the Discord if you want to follow my weird creative life. And if you missed my video on books that helped me as a dev, check that out too. I've also got some other videos out there that are pretty cool. Once again, I'm Payne Robinson. I'm an English teacher. I'm a game developer. I'm just a guy trying to make cool stuff and pay off his damn student loans. You're cool. Thanks for being here. Peace out.